Hey everyone, my name is Chuck Snow. I'm with Earl Dudley. I am their UAV specialist. I've been here for 6 years, and we have recently started selling, supporting, training on LIDAR technology. We spent about 2 years looking at this technology to see if it was viable for us, viable for our customers. Was it doable? Was it too complicated? If you've looked at this technology, you guys know that LIDAR software is kind of difficult. The reason we went with this system, this TrueView system from GeoQ, is because the data was really good out of it, and the software worked really, really well, and it was pretty simple to work with. So anyway, for some reason I'm not advancing forward. See if this will work. It does work, so we'll go here then. This other one wasn't working well. GeoQ, they've done a lot of LiDAR information, a lot of things done. I'm sorry that the other one wasn't working, so it's full screen, but it just wouldn't work for me. So I will try one more time. Go here. Let's see, there we go. Founded in 2003. So GeoQ's been around a long time. If you guys have been looking at UAV technology, you understand that a company that's been around a long time is important, because you get into a system and they go out of business, or they can't supply parts, or they can't supply any kind of help. It doesn't do you any good. So anyway, as we move through this, GeoQ's been around doing UAV technology for a long time. One reason I think their software works so well is because they've been selling LiDAR processing software for 12 years. So that gives you a big advantage over everybody else. We can have, color by elevation if you want this. I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. Or we can color. We can RGB color. We got 2 cameras on the system, one pointing left, one pointing right. So we can color the LiDAR, so you can do work off that or see what the data looks like. The system, when you colorize it, we've got basically three sensors. We've got 2 RGB cameras. We've got the LiDAR there. It's a Quanergy M8. It's a solid state LiDAR. It works really, really well. I've done about 25 or 30 test flights with it, some for customers, some just for me. And I've done some stuff coastal. As you guys know, it's very difficult down there. And I'm going to show you a shot, and we're going to try to process data in a few minutes, because it doesn't take that long after we run through these things, to kind of show you guys how fast and how well the software works. So this is kind of the system. One good thing about the system, it's not tied to any drone. You can put this on any drone you want to. We're putting them on M600 Pros because they're just inexpensive. But I've got 2 other sources if you don't like DJI, or you prefer to have something that flies a little bit longer, or whatever whatever your instance may be. So anyway, it's usable. We're flying about 75 meters above the ground, depending on terrain and stuff. Cross track LiDAR beams. We got 8 signals. We're getting 3 back, about 400,000 pulses. And vertical accuracy, we're better than 5 centimeters. Most of my stuff is probably about 1.5 most of the time, or 2. It says 3 to 5 in the thing, but I know what I'm getting, and you're going to see that when I process data, hopefully. So anyway, hard surface. We got cameras. Like I said, we got 2 RGB cameras. We got those camera sensors are 20 megapixels. So when you create an ortho, you've got a really, really good ortho, because it's about half-inch data. When you're flying this thing at the recommended altitude. So. And the LiDAR system has its own battery, so it runs for about 1.5 hours, so you don't have to worry about it dragging power off the UAV. So here's kind of what you do on the mission planning. You plan your mission, you check things, you put control down. You have a thumb drive that collects all the information. That thumb drive will plug into the computer, and you can pull that into the software there. It's automated. I'll show you that in a few minutes. We can colorize a point cloud. We can we can get that. Once we pull the PPK data in, we can apply that to the photographs as well, so you can have some really good orthos as well. So this is how some of the processing workflow right here. It's just some of the math behind it. I know a lot of you guys are skeptical. I'm with you. I was very, very skeptical. It took me 3-4 hour days up at GOQ to really feel comfortable that this would really work as good as I saw the first time I went there. So I could not believe it was so fast. I just thought something's wrong. So anyway, it wasn't. After I went up there 3 times and flew 3 times and processed 3 times, I was pretty sold on how good it was. And since I've used it since last September, I've really been sold on how good it is. So it's really, really great stuff. So it's this kind of mission planning time of how fast it works. It's about I'd say 40, 50, 60 acre tool. You can always land, put in new batteries into the drone and fly more if you want to, and combine those flights into the software when you're processing. So no big deal. It's easy. Total processing time is pretty easy on that. So ground classification, most of the stuff I do is automated. I'm going to try to show you guys both today. So you do it, you got to fly, you got a total time involved in 2 minutes, 24 seconds. So a little bit about the system. It's a Quantum GM8 dual 20 megapixel camera. We have the Planix APX15 for position orientation. We've got an antenna for LTL2 for the L1, L2 for the LIDAR unit. And of course, our drone has 3 on top because of the M600. It's got a battery charger, 2 batteries, case, all that kind of stuff. So it's been, like I said, guys, I don't blame you for being skeptical, but it's been unbelievable. I've had 2 cases when I got out of the car, and I am a sales guy, that I said, I do not think I can get information here. And both of them, it worked very, very well. I was able to generate contours. I could have generated better than a foot based on the customer's control, but a foot was all they wanted. This is one of them. This stuff was a 60-acre site of one of our customers. This actually site had bamboo on it as well. This customer had spent 27 man days topoing this with total stations on 20 and 25 foot poles because this stuff was just so tall. They did a 50-foot grid. They actually ran dozers out here as well. And this is one of the sites I got there. It was about an hour from our office, and I said, I can't help you here, guys. But I flew it. It was only about a 50-minute flight. So like I said, 40, 50 acres, I think, or something like that. I can't remember exactly. We flew this, classified it. After flight, it took me about 30 minutes to be able to give them, contours off the site. So they pulled it in. Here is the actual screenshot of what I did. And if you'll notice, based on ASPRS standards, based on their control, I could have run 0.8 foot contours, but nobody cares. Nobody wants to do that. I understand, but I'm just saying this thing does an incredible job. I ran 1 footers, very easily within standards. Okay, so ASPRS standards could create contours for the customer. Anyway, if y'all want to write any of that information down, you can. I'm going to change over to the software now and kind of show you guys some of that. This is the software. If y'all familiar, any of you know LP360, this is a rebadged software to make it where it's an easy import, download, and process for people that haven't used this. You notice I've got an arrow over here that says, hey, you need to download some stuff. We got nothing out here. So everything's kind of grayed out, most of the stuff. So if I hit this arrow here, it drops up a screen that it wants some information. So let's just call this, I don't know, we'll call it, I don't know if it's Hayes or not, Hayes Web 1 or something. So I need some GPS information, right? So we PPK this. So let me find, I'm gonna do this. Is that 220? Yeah. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this flight right here. I'm gonna find my observation file off my GPS for that. It's RyanX information. I know this was done over in Mississippi, so I'm going to choose the stuff that the customer gave me and said this is what it is. So, and I'm going to hit my import button, and I'm going to hit yes. And we'll see what happens here. Just give this a minute to load up. So this won't take long, guys. I think you're going to be, unless I mess this up, and hopefully I won't. I think you'll be surprised at how quickly and how accurate this stuff is. This thing we're doing has got timber, so it's got trees, it's got hard pavement. There's some buildings out there. There's a little creek running through there, so it's got a lot of things. So you can kind of, it's got grass, which is, I think, very important. I found that, you know, canopy, you know, high tree canopy is really not a factor. Things closer to the ground, you know, are more of a factor. That stuff I showed you on that photograph a while ago, where that stuff was from the ground up 15 feet, you know, that's tougher. High tree canopy, the LIDAR can really, when you're doing 4,000 pulses a second, it's pretty easy to punch through that stuff. I did some stuff as well, coastal. Y'all have all seen those bushes that are 10, 15, 20 feet high down the coast. They won't let any light in. I've also done some things down there with that. So anyway, it's going to import all this stuff. You're going to kind of see what I just told you guys. You know, we got buildings here. We got some small little things going on here, small little house kind of things. We got some pavement here. This is actually for a client, for not client, but a customer. So I'm going to do the trajectories now. So I'm going to hit this. You notice I got it set up for single base. I always run there is other ways to get your stuff. I think it's just better to have a base sitting right there on site, you know, static, collecting information. So the dates are right. I'm going to go on to next. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. Next. That is correct. I am in Mississippi Western Zone. That 83. Next. And I'm going to hit submit, and I'm going to hit yes, and hopefully this will work through for us. Sometimes it does not, where I've made a mistake, so it's possible. But let's hope it runs for us today, guys. So if you're looking at this, you know, give me a call or something if y'all want to. You can always call me. We can chat a little bit more. I could show you a little bit and go into a little bit more depth. I don't want to keep everybody here a long time today. I know we're scheduled for an hour, but maybe I can get you out of here less time. You can move on. Again, that's to me, that is the great thing about this software. It's easy to use and it's really fast. I will not do everything in the software today. I'll just do some things. My plan is to process this data, classify this data, pull ground control in on top of this data. And what this software does, I think it's one of the coolest things. I wish that the EB software did this. Well, I know Pix4D does, but it's not like what this does. This pulls in the ground control, and it actually does a delta check against what I'm saying is ground and what the customer shot for control. So it's really easy to know after you classify, you know, did I do a good job of classification? That's what you want to do, right? You want to get to ground. Yeah, we all know that when we classify, you may still have some things, you know, out there. And if you've got control, you know, by, you know, a bush growing up and it didn't knock that bush down for you to go to ground, then, you know, you might have a couple of problems. So this will actually show us, you know, how good we've done. So this is, to me, this is the most, and once it does this, I feel pretty comfy. Oh, I didn't mean to hit that. I'm sorry. This is a 43-page report. I'm not going to look at that, but if you ever want to, you can. So I'm going to do my flight lines now of the things that I care about. So I got a diagonal here where I'm going from the start point out to this flight line, and I really don't care about that, so I really don't need it. So I will highlight that and I will exit out, and now I've got my flight lines that I care about, those three right there. I used to fly some, you know, a cross flight line, but I found that I don't really need those. This thing does such a good job, I just don't need them. So now I'm gonna create my trajectories. So GPS data, you know, added in with stuff, and then I'm on geocode the LIDAR. We just kind of notice that the buttons just kind of light up, and you work from left to right across that one little bar right there. So this one little bar does everything that we did, not everything, but all the processing side. So anyway, as you see, it's starting to process the flight lines as it goes through. So there's 1, then 2, then 3. We've got 3 flight lines there. Number 2's done. All right, there's our information right there. We've got it's all done. It's all in, you know, by intensity or by elevation right now. I'm going to classify now, so I'm going to do a point cloud task right here. and I'm going to do a ground classifier. I'm going to tell it that I want all my points, all my boxes are checked there. So I'm going to hit OK here. Where do I want my destination? Where do I want my ground to be? It's my ground. So I'm going to name it ground. I've already got that in there because it's already one I created. I don't have to create it again. And then I'm going to apply all this information that I've selected over here. And I'm going to apply all that to my whole area. You can run a small test if you want to sometimes. But this is a small area, and I don't care about just doing it all at once because it's only going to take about a minute and a half to run this classification, which I know blows you guys' mind because this is all automated. So, but I'm going to show you the other part as well. That's one reason I chose this. I'll show you how you can edit out some things in here too. If you have if you can't produce 1 foot contours and you want to, we can go look at the data and we can go try to find out where we got a problem. You can click on a control point if you want to and go right to that control. You know, if you got one that's really out of bounds, you know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet, 3 feet, 30 feet, something where the classifier the auto classifier has missed something. So we can go there and look at that if we want to, or if it's just a little bit, or if we need to at all. But I'm still going to show it to you. You know, whether this thing does a good job or not, I'm going to show you that manual cleanup, if you will, so you guys will know and see how easy that is as well. So, and I'll show you the data. I'll change which points I'm looking at to show you the data pre-class, and I'll show you the data after class, so you kind of get a feel for that. It'll be in that black area down at the bottom where there's nothing right now but a long horizontal black bar. It'll be down in there, so I'll drop it down there in just a second. So. Just a few more seconds, guys. Thank you for being patient with me. I appreciate it. So, all right. So it's done it. It's done its thing now. So I'm going to up here at the top. I've got all points. I'm going to go to ground right now. You see that it changed. I'm also going to go here. No, I'm here. And I'd rather have the 10 for me is easier to look at, to edit. You know, if I've got these high little red things, I know I've got some stuff in there I might or may not want to take out. Okay, so I like to look at the 10. It just helps Chuck. Okay, that's why I like it. That's why I got it down there. So I'm going to, let's just do this. Let's go here and let's go to import from ASCII. And I'm going to choose shapefile. I'm going to hit add. And I'm going to get the control, guys, what I'm doing. So I'm going to grab control right here. And I'm going to tell, I don't care where this goes. So I'm just going to say desktop. And I'm going to hit select folder. And then I'm going to go next. And delimited, that is correct. I see my control in the bottom, so I'm good. I am comma delimited, so I'm going next. And number 1 is ID. Number 2 is northing. Number 3 is easting, and number 4 is elevation. I'm going to hit finish, and it's going to pull that in. That import's complete. Down here, right here on the left, where you see my cursor circling, is a way to choose that, to look at it. And I have a little panel here where I can look at some things. So we're not going to work off the 10. We're going to go to inverse distance weighting. I'm going to tell it my source points. I'm going to take all the points out. I'm going to put in ground only because I don't care about the others. I'm trying to get the ground. That looks good. Let's see if this works for me. I hope it does. So it's running the math now against what I call ground and against the surface. And as you can see right here, guys, I hope you can see that. My ASP or accuracy class is 0.282, so my minimum contour interval is 0.846. So based on the customer's control, I could easily run 1 foot contours off the data right now. So that's just, you know, it just doesn't get any better. Let me hit the world and bring that stuff back. So it doesn't get any better than that, guys. So anyway, there it is. You see control out there now. I'm going to do a couple more things. I want to show you guys a couple of things. So, I can cut a swath through here. Well, that's in the way. Dang it. And go here. Sorry guys, let me do this and I'll make it big again. So all right, let's go big on that. All right, that's better. Okay, now what you see at the bottom is you see where it's edited stuff out, except for right here, because I'm on that house. I wanted to show you guys that. So you can go across and edit that out if I want to. I'm kind of that little bar will move. Let me see, can I change this? Yes, there it is. There's the data before edited. Okay, so you see trees, no trees, telephone poles, some other things out there. And then I'm gonna go back to ground and I'll show you guys that editing on the 10. I don't have to go back to 10, or is it gonna do that for me? There it goes back to 10. Okay, so as you guys can see, you see where I am right here. Notice when I move down here, you see the white line move up there inside my long white rectangle, so I kind of know where I am. So right here, that's that house that we saw. Let's just say it's Folded's house. It doesn't matter. I need to get rid of it if I want to contour something across it. So I go right here, and this says classify points above the line. I can go below the line. It just depends on what you're doing. I usually use classify points above line. So if I click that and I go out here to this data, then I can do that. Click there, hit my space bar. Tie that down. Come on, Chuck. Interesting. And I'm selected. How odd. Let's do one. Is it because I'm on the? I don't know why it's not working for me, guys. That is so odd. I've done it 100 times, so. Let's go to another one. We'll come back to it. We got this over here, here. Well, how odd. Maybe because I'm across the internet. I don't know. But that's the way you edit out. I have no idea why it's not working. So, because I've done it so many times. That's the way it works. Interesting. And, oh, maybe that is it. Maybe it is doing this thing. Yeah. Anyway, I apologize, guys. I have no idea why that's not doing its thing. That's what you do there. You see the yellow dots you see on the screen are control across there, so you can see how they're scattered out. It does its thing. You can edit. I'm sure it's dragging a little bit because it is a big data set, how large these are. So that's kind of how you edit. You can see from our, from looking at our control chart. I'll probably do this. No, yeah, I'll probably do this again. So from our control chart, you see that you pull in the control, it does your DZ for you. And if you want to do it again, there we go. As you can see a while ago, it knows the information on the ASPRS standard. And this mean error right here, guys, I can pull that out. Okay, I can always zero the mean. I'm not going to do that today. Trying to get you guys out of here, but I can zero that mean, which would, help us here. But anytime you can do, 1 footers or less on your data, I think that that's good enough. This is what this is for, is to be able to, poke holes in the canopy and create 1 foot contours out in difficult areas quickly. If anybody out there is saying that, we want a different sensor, better data, I can make this pretty good. But the other thing I would say to you is, if some of you guys, want a little better data, a little bit cleaner data, a little bit less noise data, or you prefer the Regal sensor, probably in 2 or 3 months, we will have the Regal Minivux 2 on unit, and we'll be selling those as well. So if that's something you want to wait on, just to kind of throw that out there, we'll be glad to do that for you guys. So you can have either one. Again, it's way more expensive. If you're just punching holes in canopy, you know, there's no reason, you know, to spend money for a Regal sensor. But if you maybe want to put it on a vehicle, you know, to be on the road, to do a mobile mapping system, or you want a little bit cleaner data, because that's all it is, and maybe a little bit, because we are going to offer a higher end IMU as well. We're going to probably put the Planix 20 on. We are going to have it available. You can have the Planix 15 or the 20 with the Regal sensor if you want. So either one. But it's you know, the Regal sensor is really expensive. You guys know, if you're looking at LIDAR, they're very proud of what they have, and the data is very pretty. But we can you know, we can put that on there and have it. We'll have those systems out. Again, it's supposed to be the end of the second quarter of this year, but since all this other goo-goo's going on with the COVID, it might be a little bit longer, maybe into summer or something. We will have those, though, if that's something you guys want. If you just want to punch holes, use this one, because it works outstanding. So that's all I got for you guys today. So I think we're recording this. Anyway, let me see. You know, I'll look in case there's questions down there. I see nothing in the chat box, so it's okay. I'd rather not, probably not. If you guys, you saw my name and address, you know, let me I'll go to the end of this. See if I can grab it and slide it to the end. There's Chuck Snow. There's my email address, telephone number. We're at Earl Dudley. We have offices across the Southeast, and if you need me or would like to chat more, or want to do another webinar, or just want to talk a little bit about what your needs are, if I can help you, you know, if I can, I'll just tell you, hey guys, I can't help you with that. You know, if you want 500s, I can't help you with that. Okay, if you want a 10th, maybe I can help you with that. So, but if you want to do road work with this is not the tool for that. This is really a punching holes in canopy, doing wood foot contour. So if I can help you guys with any of that kind of stuff, you know, let me know. I'll be glad to. Y'all have a great day. See you. Thank you for attending.